Want help to grow your business? Download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.
Hello, I'm Judith Wilson, and welcome to my session on how to wow customers and have them keep coming back. A few weeks ago, I had a tradesman come to install a fitted wardrobe in my guest bedroom. He arrived on time. I thought that's a good start. He was pleasant enough, and he got down to work pretty quickly. So I thought, so far, so good. The cupboard was beautiful and exactly what I wanted. But as he was packing up, he was sort of saying his goodbyes and putting everything in the toolbox and about to head out the door. And I realized he had left two great big strips of tape across the mirrored doors. And I thought, oh, is he going to leave the tape like that? And then I thought, oh, it's probably not a big issue. I can probably just pull the tape off and it'll be fine. So he was heading down the stairs when I just started to pull the tape away. And I realized it wasn't going to come away cleanly. It was that paper tape, and it left a horrible residue all the way down the back side of it. And I looked at this and thought, not quite so easy. So I called after him as he was heading out the door, and I said, excuse me, there's a mark on the front that's been caused by the masking tape. And he turned around and he said, use something like methylated spirits or something like that. That'll get it off, I'm sure. I thought, oh, okay, do I have any methylated spirits? And as it went, I didn't. And so I had to wait a few shopping trips before I remembered that, meths is something I need to get. So I bought a bottle of it, and then I had to do this to get it to come off, and then my cupboards looked great. And it got me thinking, hold on a minute. He does that day in, day out. It must be the situation with pretty much anyone that he leaves the glass cupboards like that. And I thought everything seemed to be going so well up until that last little bit, and then it just left a really bad flavor in my mouth, and I thought I certainly wouldn't use him again because of it. But what could he have done? Because he does it so often, he literally could have had a tiny little jar of methylated spirits in his toolbox, and he could have almost made it a bit of a performance at the end to wow me by saying, I'm just going to take the tape off, and it normally leaves a little bit of a mark, so I bring a little methylated spirits just to wipe it. And I would have gone, oh, wow. And then, of course, when my husband came home, I would say, come and see our new cupboards, they're just beautiful, which, of course, I didn't do when there was the masking tape all over them. Such a tiny little thing that made such a big difference to me, continuing certainly not to use him again. So let's look in this session that I'm going to cover about how to wow customers to keep them coming back. I have been teaching people soft skills courses for the past 18 years across 3 continents, and customer service has certainly been a big part of those skills I've given people. And when we talk about keeping people and having them come back for more, it costs 9 times more to get a new client to come into our business than to keep the ones we've got. But people tend to focus so much on, it'll be great to new customers and get new customers in. What about just showing some love to the customers that you've got? That's what I'll cover today. We're going to look at what's the difference between good and exceptional customer service, how to create outstanding moments of truth, get customers to like you quickly and easily, reprogramming the way you communicate, and I'll leave you with 4 ways to deliver exceptional service in every interaction. 4 very practical things that you can do in your businesses right away. So let's get straight into it. The difference between good service and exceptional service. I think it comes down to expectations. In this day and age, most people expect good customer service. When you go anywhere, when you go to buy milk at a supermarket, you expect good enough customer service, otherwise you wouldn't go there. And when you get good enough customer service, you leave. It's not memorable. There's nothing that sticks out and goes, oh wow, that was beyond. It's only exceptional when it's more than we expect. So if good looks like this and exceptional looks like this, I want to show you what we can do to take it from good, because everyone just talks about, yes, deliver good customer service. But I want us to drill down into exactly what can I do in my business to make it exceptional? What things will really create the wow factor? There's also, of course, the other side of exceptional, which is exceptionally bad. So, of course, when we go through emotion, we expect good customer service and we don't get it, then it's memorable to us because we say, gosh, that wasn't even what I expected. And then, of course, there's the exceptionally good. And so often it's a tiny little thing that can make it exceptional for us. Sometimes it's a silly little thing, like on a Friday afternoon saying, it's going to be great weather, I hope you have a really wonderful weekend with your son, or something like that, that they've taken note that you've got a son and you're going to spend the weekend. It's that little personal interaction, and sometimes it costs them absolutely nothing to do, but it's left a memorable impact for you. So let's think about when you are doing something like booking a holiday. Say you're going to go to the Great Barrier Reef in Australia, you're going to have an amazing long weekend, and you phone up beforehand to find a car hire place. And you think, oh, let me just quickly get a few quotes. I'm going to do it on the phone because it might be quicker and I've got a few minutes. You jump on the phone and you get atrocious service. The person is rude, they're incompetent, it's just diabolical, whatever car hire company you've chosen to phone. When you put the phone down, do you tend to go, oh, shame, they must be having a bad day, something must have gone wrong, maybe they had a fight with a significant other, maybe they're not feeling well? Do you tend to do that? No. Do we tend to go, beep, 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 whichever company we've called is rubbish, never going to use them, they are rubbish? The thing is, we are the business. We need to realize that every single interaction people have with us, we are the business. They don't leave and say, oh, shame, maybe she's busy. Honestly, they must have had lots of things go wrong today and I was just another customer. We really do say, you are the entire organization. So often business owners themselves tend to know this, but it's something that as you start getting a bigger and bigger team, you've got to instill this notion in them that they, each and every one of them, have the reputation of your entire business riding on their shoulders. So in customer service, most people make the mistake of thinking of each interaction with the customer as a unit. I think we need to be more pedantic than that, and we need to break each unit down into 3 particular parts. I think in every single interaction with a customer, be it on the phone, be it face-to-face, it doesn't matter, there's an approach, there's an analysis, and there's an action stage. And we evaluate, as customers, we evaluate a business on each of these. So approach. If you've caught someone who's busy and between jobs and they pick up the phone and say, hello, that's the approach that you're going to go, gosh, is that such and such a business? Have I reached the right place? And in your mind, you're thinking that wasn't professional at all. The analysis bit is analysis. How do you use your professionalism to really get what they need, to find the need behind the request of the customer? Because very often what they're asking for might not be exactly the correct solution for them. Are we listening? Do we have empathy? And of course, the action, the follow through, the making sure they're completely satisfied. Now, you can't have the best approach in the world, a great analysis, and oops, sorry, I forgot, no action, because it's not exceptional customer service. You can't have an absolutely lousy approach and then the person suddenly realizes it's a customer and, oh, yes, and the analysis suddenly becomes amazing. You have to have an amazing approach and an amazing analysis and an amazing action for the customer to go, wow, that was phenomenal. So I don't know if any of you have seen the customer relationship management ladder. This is really useful for us to know. It's called the ladder of loyalty. And I'm going to draw it up here for you and talk you through how we move a customer up the ladder. So if we draw a basic ladder like this, the bottom of our ladder is a suspect. Now, a suspect is we think they could do with having service from us. So it's where we market to, it's where we advertise. We suspect they could use our product or service. Okay? The next level up is a prospect.
To continue enjoying this presentation, download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.